Guys, North Idaho is one of the most beautiful places on the planet. And I don't say that sarcastically, it really is. With all the mountains, lakes, wildlife, it's no wonder so many people want to move here. But with North Idaho no longer being a secret, there's a lot of big changes coming. So that's what we're going to be talking about on this video. What does the future of North Idaho look like? Be sure to stick around. Hi everyone, my name is Trent and I'm a real estate agent here in North Idaho. If you are looking for more information about what it's like to live, eat, sleep, work, play, and buy real estate here in Idaho, then you have found the right channel. Make sure you tap the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so every time I come out with a new video, you get notified. Every day, I'm getting emails, calls, and texts from people just like you that are watching the channel and want more information about what it's like living in Idaho and how to get set up in Idaho. And I absolutely love it. So if this is you, just give me a call, shoot me a text. If you're serious about moving here, I want to help you get set up here. I've been here 30 years and I absolutely love this place. So what does the future of North Idaho look like? Well, let's go back. We're going to do a little history lesson here. When I moved here in 1992, there were very, very few streetlights in Post Falls. The road going from Post Falls to Rathdrum was a gravel road. Everybody pretty much knew everyone else, and it was a really small, quaint town. It was a really awesome experience to have as a child, but I want to talk about a part of that not very many people talk about with growing up in a small town. Opportunity was very scarce. The ability to make a good living just wasn't there. And if you wanted to get experience to go get a higher paying job, you had to go to school and you had to accrue debt. So even though, yes, it was very small and quaint and very cheap to live here, you really did end up, if you were in that position where your family couldn't send you to school or you needed to start working right away, a lot of people ended up feeling stuck, which led to drug addiction, which led to mental health issues. There was just a whole slew of problems. And I myself had family members and friends that experienced that, and a lot of them ended up moving away. And the reason I bring that up is there's quite a few people that call me and go, well, Trent, if I move here and other people move here, is that going to end up ruining North Idaho? And the answer is no, it's not ruining it. Yes, it's changing, and you do have downsides to growth. But there's also opportunity. We're attracting startups in this area that are creating really awesome technology, and the ability to make a good living is coming to North Idaho. And so yes, you do have change. There is a handoff with that, but I think that overall it's really good opportunity. So let's dive in. What does the future of North Idaho look like? Guys, I did actually quite a bit of research. I called Christina Petit, the president of the Chamber of Commerce in Post Falls. I've been reading news articles. I try to dive deep to be able to provide you all the information I could about what the future looks like. And the two developments that I'm really excited to talk to you about here in Coeur d'Alene starts with the Atlas Waterfront project. Now, this is so cool. I'm so excited about this one because this is 70 acres of waterfront property that has sat vacant for a long time. It used to be the Atlas Mill. It was that when I moved here as a kid, and it was just a slew of lumber that sat next to the river. And the whole time I'm thinking, that's gotta be worth some money for that property. So we were all anxious to find out, is this going to be sold off to wealthy investors, or is this actually going to be built out so that the public has access? And the city, they bought it just a few years ago, and they are building this giant expansion of what's basically going to be like Riverstone. It's going to be mixed use properties. You're going to have residential homes, condos, and apartments, but there's also going to be retail space and a ton of parks. They're even building a really big workout facility there that has over half its funding already. They're trying to raise $4 million. They're at like 2.6 million. But this space is going to be amazing. There's going to be an outdoor amphitheater for musicians to come and play, maybe even some weddings to happen. But this is going to allow the public, as well as people who are moving here with lots of money, to have access to waterfront property. I always hate going to these beautiful towns that are around a lake And there's just this tiny little beach that they're like, all right, everyone who can't afford waterfront property, you get to hang out there and we get the rest of the lake. I understand that's how capitalism works, but it's really cool to me when a city steps up and goes, you know what, we are going to make this space available for all the locals. Anyone who wants to come here is going to be able to use this. So the Atlas Waterfront project is going to be huge, and it's already broken ground. They're already starting to build it. I don't have an end date yet, but they are making progress really quick. Now, the next really big development I'm excited to talk to you guys about is the Hagedon Corporation is building 3 large towers that's going to overlook the Coeur d'Alene golf course, the golf course that they own. Now, this is going to have up to 275 livable spaces. Some of it's going to be high-end condos. Others will be high-end apartments and then hotel rooms, and it's going to have 4 stories of parking. So the impact to the area is going to be minimal compared to some of these sprawled out developments. They have not gotten the permits yet. This is still in development, and hopefully they get their permits soon, because I think this is going to be awesome to add on. The only people that are complaining about it so far are the people who are living on Fernan Hill, because right now they have an unimpeded view of Coeur d'Alene Lake. And unfortunately, this is going to block some of their view. So we'll see what happens. But typically in the past, when Hagedon Corporation has built condos in this area, some of them get bought up by people like Oprah Winfrey, Wayne Gretzky, Matthew McConaughey, John Elway. There are several really famous people that live in this area. I've not really seen them much. I've worked in my early 20s. I worked at some of the golf courses, so I got to meet John Elway several times. Very cool guy. But it's not like some of the other areas where they go walking downtown and everybody just swarms together. That's what I love about Idaho. So majority of the people are like, that's cool, saw you on TV, no big deal, I'm gonna get back to doing what I'm doing. I think that's what kind of attracts some of the Hollywood and athletes, the super well-known people, because they don't get swarmed like they do in other places. So that's it for Coeur d'Alene. Let's move on to Post Falls. Now, like I said, I gave Christina Petit a call, who's the president of the Chamber of Commerce in Post Falls. And she gave me all the details about the major developments that are happening in Post Falls, at least the ones that she could talk about. She did say there are some that haven't been finalized yet, so she can't talk about them. But one that I'm really excited about, because Post Falls, they really are in need of high-paying jobs and attracting some of the major corporations to provide those high-paying jobs, especially as the cost of housing goes up. The Kenworth Corporation, Kenworth, the really, really large semi-trucks, they are building a 47,500 square foot service and sales center out by Cabela's, and it's going to be on 10 acres. This is going to bring in 20 new good paying jobs to the area. And Christina couldn't say too much on this, but she says that there are several major corporations that are in talks right now because they saw what Kenworth is doing and they want to follow suit. So this is really exciting for that area. Out by State Line, you have Cabela's, you have Walmart, you have State Line Showgirls. It's a strip club, just so you know. There's one in this area other than Spokane, and it's in Post Falls. But it's going to be attracting some really major corporations, and that area is just not really being used. There's really large dirt lots, and it's been that way my entire life. So it's really cool to find out that big corporations are bringing business out there and providing high-paying jobs. The next big development in Post Falls, and this is exciting. You might have heard me talk about in some of my videos about Post Falls, how it always bugged me that it has no downtown. There was one planned called Falls Park that's right on the river, and it was supposed to be just like Riverstone, but it failed back in 2008 and was abandoned. Well, there are plans and they are moving forward to build that out, and it's going to be very, very similar to Riverstone. It's going to have mixed residential space with commercial and retail space. There's going to be parks, there's going to be places to hang out, and they really want to make that the central downtown of Post Falls. And just 1 mile east of that, at the old Idaho Veneer building, this is where they used to have a ton of timber and lumber out there. That place shut down, and there are plans now to have that be an extension of downtown, similar with the residential spaces and the retail spaces. So there are some really, really cool plans happening in Post Falls. The last one for Post Falls is there's 2 major residential developments happening up on 41 and Prairie, which when I was a kid were just fields. And that is happening, that is moving forward. And there's also, it just got approved that there's going to be a shopping plaza there. So for all the locals living up there, they don't have to drive all the way into Post Falls to do some of their shopping. They can do it right there. And they're even expanding Highway 41 right now so that it can accommodate the additional population and make it easier to go to and from that area, either up into Sandpoint or down into Post Falls, Coeur d'Alene. So really, really exciting developments for Post Falls. Now, lastly, in Sandpoint, there is a major 20-year plan that I believe just got approval. The details are pretty thick. So what I'm gonna do, I'm providing a link to all of this information in the description page. So if you wanna get more information on it, you can click there and go and see what it's all about. But essentially, to boil it down, and this is probably way oversimplified, but in Sandpoint, they are doing a 20-year plan to fix some of the roadways, reroute some of the roadways, and prepare for the future population growth, which I think is wonderful because certain areas like Post Falls, Coeur d'Alene, they really didn't plan ahead for all of this growth, and we're starting to run into some of those problems. So seeing that Sandpoint is going, we see the writing on the wall, it's no longer a secret, people are moving here, they're planning ahead, and they're going to get a lot of the roadways and throughways fixed so that it just makes it easier, less traffic, and it won't be a problem in the future. Again, lots of details on that one, so go check out the description and you can click on the link to check that out. So guys, that's it. Those are the major developments that I was able to find through calling people and doing my own research. If you think that this is really good for North Idaho and you think that it should keep growing, leave me a comment, let me know. And if you think that this is bad for North Idaho and that growth equals terrible things and problems and is just gonna introduce all this stuff and it's gonna ruin Idaho, I want to hear about that too, and I want to know why. So leave me a comment. I try to respond to all of them. I do read all of them. I can't always respond to all of them, but I do read them. And again, if you are serious about wanting to get moved here, give me a call, shoot me a text or an email. I love talking to people about Idaho and getting relocated here. It's what we're here to do. We absolutely love it. So guys, until the next one, I'll see you later.